Good morning. This is Melissa Smith with Melissa Smith Design. Thank you for joining me today on Studio Stories. Today we're going to talk about the new design of jewelry. If you're not familiar with what I'm doing right now, I create meaningful jewelry that moves. What does that mean? Well, the jewelry literally has a meaning. Everything about it has a meaning. And I've already created a collection, and each piece of jewelry has a meaning. But there's one thing in common with everything that has been created, and you're welcome, I might add, feel free to message me. Hopefully I will be able to see your messages as we're going. But what I wanted to talk about today is the design, the story behind the design. The design, as I mentioned earlier, moves. It's jewelry that has liquid inside and it's inside what I call a window. And there's something inside that, something of meaning, something of value. That could be a gemstone, that could be something important to the person that is asking that to be made. Maybe a lock of hair or something special to the client. But there's something inside each one of the windows. Hey Kate, thanks for joining. And this is what this is about. So what happened, what is the story behind the design? And I'll show you the completed design before we leave today. But how this started is I've done art for many years, mainly wall art, painting, and then I transitioned into more of a mixed media type art, and that was also more wall art or smaller pieces that sit on the table. And about, I don't know, in early 2020, I woke up one morning and I saw something that I had never seen before. And it looked like jewelry, but I didn't have a clear picture. It was kind of fuzzy. So as time went on, I kept waking up and seeing this picture, and it began to get clearer and clearer and clearer until I was able to see that it was a necklace and that it had something similar to a window inside of it, and it had a flow to it. It was like waves in the ocean or something like that. Something was inside of it and something was flowing. And it became clear that that is what I was supposed to make. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for joining. And so I am in the middle of this, and I have no idea. I have not been a, quote, jeweler in the past and hadn't made jewelry to speak of, but that was my newest challenge, to bring this picture that I saw in a dream, bring it to life. And so, of course, with anything you go to do, there's going to be failures involved. And came along, and it's just a trial by error, one step at a time. And you're going to have failures along the way, and it seems like sometimes it's one step forward and two steps back. That's just the way it goes. And of course, I'm going to show you one of my failures today, but most of the failures that I created got thrown in the trash because nobody wants to remember the bad stuff, right? But the failure that I did save, that group, was the last failure before I finally had a breakthrough. And it's kind of funny because there's so much along the way. Of course, I want everything to go just right and want everything to evolve in my time frame, but that's not always the way it works. And I don't know how many times I had to remember that the reason 409 got its name was because there was 408 failures before they got that formula correct. And I even got inspiration from George Washington Carver because, you know, he did a lot with the peanut and so much agriculture inventions and things that he came up with, and he was quite an inspiration to me to just keep going, just keep plugging along. So went along, and finally one day I was just literally at a standstill. It's like I don't have any ideas, and it was just like I just at the end of my rope. And I finally, it's like, you know, if I don't get some answers, I can't keep going forward, because I just didn't, I just got one step at a time as I was going. And I went to bed that night, and I just, I asked for help. And basically, I woke up the next morning, and not only did I have help, I had ideas of, and you know, when you have a breakthrough on something like that, it's like, well, sure, I should have thought of that, but I can't take the credit for all of this. It was definitely an inspired design. And so I went into the studio the next morning, and things started clicking. Things started coming together after that. And so I'm just going to start by showing you one of the failures. Now, as I show you this, don't judge it by how pretty it is, because that was not the purpose. I added a little detail to it, but the main thing was functionality. Does it flow like I saw in that picture? And this one does not flow. And it's not necessarily pretty. But this is the point I was to. It was just not working right. Here's another one. And so that was, thankfully, the last failure before I started finding or tweaking the design to where it finally functioned properly. And then I could go into creating a design that was pleasing and also functioned with the flow that I had seen. So now that you know the story behind, I would like to show you one of the finished products. Now, if you didn't know this, I have recently started a website, published a website. It's called melissasmithdesign.com. So you're welcome to go and see more designs. I also have a business page on Facebook under the same name, Melissa Smith Design, as well as Instagram and Pinterest and YouTube. So please feel free, follow me anywhere you'd like. But if you want to go and see all of the designs that are out right now, please feel free to go to the website melissasmithdesign.com. So here is one of the designs. Let me get this ready. That really shows off the flow. Okay. Let's see if my hand, maybe that would be better. Let me put my hand behind it. So the movement is from gravity. And as you move it, as you wear it, it warms up, and that also helps. And as you move it, it flows. And this one is kind of fun because the movement is more slow because there's so many tiny pieces in there. Hopefully you can see that. So that's the story behind the design. It's very exciting to me. I see this going further, not just in jewelry, but for right now, jewelry is the thing. And one of the neat things about that is every piece of jewelry has a meaning. And I have learned so much about this. It's very sentimental to me as I've created some of the designs. It has reminded me of people, special people in my life. And so I'm looking forward to helping people capture some of the special people or the special events in their life and translating that into a piece of jewelry that they can wear next to their heart to keep that close to them. So thank you for joining me today. Be sure and follow my page if you haven't, and check out my website, melissasmithdesign.com. Thanks so much. Thanks, Kate. Thanks, Paul, for following me. Appreciate you being there. Appreciate your comments. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.